Tom's old enough to be on money.
Yeah, roll of pennies.
I think a Tom is like $7. Like there's just a picture of you on the $7 bill, and it's only legal tender in Wisconsin and Iowa.
And only good on beer. And maybe cheese. And brats, if they're Johnsonville brats.
Okay, so you got 2 packages of Brock's there. That's going to be a Tommy. There you go. Yeah. Hey, slip me a Tommy. I need to go buy some Schlitz.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to Rock and Roll, the podcast, featuring Dr. Nick Redbone, Tom Nelson, and me, Brock Johnson. The podcast is brought to you by
Power Plant Car Audio Accessories on Kimberly Road in Twin Falls, powerplantweb.com. I was waiting for you to do it again, man.
Nope, I
was trying to slough my responsibilities.
Yeah, because you guys tanked it last time.
We did, and it was all my fault.
No,
and
man.
this time you kind of tried to tank it again.
Yeah, but I threw the first stone last time.
Yeah, but this
so I
time
was
you didn't.
Very careful not to.
Yeah, this time I think that all lands on Tommy.
It's my fault.
If the podcast had
Way
a
to
corner,
go, Giggles.
Yeah.
Right? Well, you know what? If I would have had my Southgate chili with beans beforehand, I'd be in better shape.
Absolutely.
Southgate chili with beans goes great with cracked egg pickle things.
Maybe we'll find out. Episode 40.
Episode 40.
Are you guys really...
Episode 37?
This is episode 37?
Yeah, so a couple episodes to go.
Are
We'll see
you
how it
really
goes.
thinking about doing that?
I'm going to eat the chili. He's going to eat an egg.
You're really going to do that?
Yeah.
Oh, the
Oh,
chili's
God,
safe, man.
that is barf-tastic.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Now, last week we talked about queso.
Yeah, the queso didn't happen because
My
they
God, it didn't?
did not have
Okay.
the cheese
Oh.
at the store.
Oh, well,
you can't cheap out on the cheese. You use the fake stuff, you end up with like curdles and stuff.
Yeah, you can't. No,
That's like wax.
It's got to be name brand Velveeta, and it was late, and so when I struck out, I said, you know what,
Yeah.
those guys will be okay. We'll do queso next time.
That's right. We'll do. Queso could happen on episode 42 because I promise you, there is no way I'm eating that, and there's no way I'm eating that.
We could do queso on 40, or we could do queso on like Friday.
Okay, but there won't be a podcast Friday, but that's fine.
No,
as long as we have queso.
I mean, the important thing is the queso.
So we don't have to
And
have
you're doing the Tres Flores anyway.
No.
Yeah, you're
What?
going to be
No.
drinking the Tres Flores.
No.
Episode 40 is going to be a big one.
Yeah, it's a big one.
I 100% promise I will not be drinking Tres Flores.
You're a dick.
What about Jepson's Malort?
No.
Yeah, will you do another
I-
Jepson's
I,
Malort?
I wonder which one tastes better. We won't be
Probably
doing
the Tres Flores.
We will not be doing the Pepsi challenge either. way. Yeah, that's terrible. So episode 37 of Rock and Roll the podcast.
Do you know what
This
I
very
had the
podcast.
other day?
What?
Clear Pepsi.
Ooh.
It has returned.
And does it still taste like almost like like an indecipherable?
It's delicious. I loved it.
Did you really?
Yeah, I loved the Clear Pepsi.
My mind, mystic water.
Really?
Memories.
You might as well just give up.
Yeah.
Clear Pepsi. What was that, from the 90s?
I think it was a late 80s thing, wasn't it?
Ooh, going
Maybe.
back.
Like you to remember.
Yeah, who the hell knows?
Yeah,
But I remember
yeah.
the Clear Pepsi. My grandmother
Okay.
was a big Pepsi drinker.
Okay.
And for a little while, she switched to Clear Pepsi, and it was the healthiest grandma's house visit because there was nothing but Pepsi.
Okay, gotcha.
You could have water, or you could have
Pepsi.
Pepsi.
Yeah,
So I
yeah.
drank a lot of Pepsi.
That's how you fool people that don't want you drinking soda.
there you go.
Water.
There
It's
you go.
carbonated water.
And if they don't want you drinking alcohol, you do that and vodka.
Yes.
It's not a cocktail. It's a healthy mineral water.
And still better than Jepson's Malort.
And I probably shouldn't drive after I have it. Ooh, Jepson's Malort.
I think you ought to do a shot of the Jepson's Malort on episode 40.
I think you ought to kiss my
Just
butt.
why don't we be a team here?
Oh, I've had Jepson's Malort.
Yeah. But we're both making a sacrifice. Self-inflicted.
No. Okay, here's the thing. Let's stop with the look at us being martyrs. Okay, that's a can of chili and that's an egg. You people are from the upper Midwest. You eat worse than that shit recreationally. You're the kind of people that eat tongue and feet and shit.
I don't eat tongue and feet and shit.
You'll eat that though.
This egg is winking at me as we speak.
It's the eye of
I don't
Sauron
know.
right there. That's the eye of Sauron from Lord of the Rings. It's right there. I see you. Yeah, baby. This is, we've gotten off to a strange start. Do we want to start?
Nah.
Episode 37 is about a fixture in rock and roll. I actually had to do some homework. It's about the guitar solo.
Oh, we're talking about guitars
We're
again?
talking
Shocking.
about guitar. I know, right? And as a guitar player, I did not know where the rock and roll guitar solo came from. I legitimately had to do some homework.
Well, I thought it would come from a guitar.
That's what I would have assumed as well, dumbass.
And that's been Rock and Roll the podcast.
Who was the first guitar solo?
It
Who
looks-
did it?
What is the history?
The history of the guitar solo, it looks like it started off as it would be like, what did they call it in country music? They call it the kickoff or the liftoff, where it's the intro to the song, and it's usually like a lick or a chord or something, kind of a riffy thing to get into the tune. Chuck Berry took it and overdrove it. If you think about Johnny B. Good,
There you go.
That's that intro thing
Yeah.
is sort of the prototype.
Oh, yeah.
Kickoff.
That was a very early guitar
right.
solo.
And then you look at there'd always been, in jazz ensembles with a guitar player, everybody in a jazz ensemble gets to take a solo. That's part of what jazz is.
Mm-hmm.
So that kind of bled into rock and roll as well. Like, well, we have the solo instrument we have here is a guitar. He might as well take a solo. If you listen to and I've talked about this solo before, if you listen to the guitar solo in Rock Around the Clock, it even has that reedy, thin jazz guitar tone to it. It's just sped up. So I kind of think as long as there's been guitar rock, which comes from the blues, there's always...
Get out of town.
There's something, and I just remember vaguely. That's an inside thing, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Or are we Barry Ponsoning again? Was that a Barry Ponson thing?
Well,
I think we brought this up once, didn't we?
Yeah. When you've got a hot air balloon full of stupid just floating there, why wouldn't you point it out?
Hot air balloon full of stupid
Oh, man.
and sweatpants.
Yeah, that shit is so big and dopey, it's ready to lead the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade.
That formal attire, I'm pretty sure, is purchased in the betting aisle.
Oh, I see you're wearing a down comforter. But anyway, blues had, see how I brought it right back?
Yeah.
Way to go, man.
Blues always had those intros. It always had turnarounds. So there was a precedent set for the guitar to take a minute for itself.
Yeah.
It was when the birth of the guitar hero started to happen. It was when the Beatles were a guitar band, and then you had Clapton, and then you had Hendrix, and so they started to take the guitar so much more seriously inside the arrangement.
Yep.
I was talking to my special lady last night about this, and she said, who recognizes the great guitar solos? Non-guitar players. And I thought, she's brilliant. And here's why. Guitar players listen for listen how technical that was. Oh, wonder what gear he's playing. I wonder what the blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
We overanalyze it. A non-guitar player goes, God, that was a cool part of the song.
Mm-hmm.
Which really, at the end of the day, the guitar solo should serve the song.
Well,
absolutely.
When the guitar solo happens, it's almost like the guitar solo is as important to the song as the lead vocal.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
like the role kind of changes where the vocal steps back and the guitar steps up to center stage. You know?
Yeah. Case in point, I think this is a great example. David Gilmour,
Okay.
Comfortably Numb.
Oh, gosh.
That solo, which is one of my favorites.
Mine too.
It really just kind of extends the narrative of the song. The song is just all about despair and melancholy and survival, and he channels that through that solo so well. Just makes it stand out, to your point.
Yeah, absolutely. He taps into the emotion that's already happening in the song. He doesn't try and step out and make it his own. Look, this is my moment to shine. It's the song. It's in the song.
Like I said, it's like he just channels it through his body, through the acts.
Yeah,
It's
absolutely. And I think the great guitar solos. It's interesting that we've tied it into the vocal, because I think the great guitar solos, you can sing them. Like think about your favorite guitar solo or a favorite. You know it well enough. You could probably sing the notes along with the guitar player doing it. For me, and the guy is one of the all-time rock and roll legends, but he's so good at making the guitar solo that you can sing to. Think about Angus Young from AC/DC. We talked about his brother during the rhythm guitars, but think about, and we'll even use Back in Black again. Back in Black, Malcolm is sticking with the don't, da-da-don't, da-da-don't, and Angus goes, ah. So he plays the notes on the way down. Bow, 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 bow.
Well, I think, and there's only a few guitarists who do this during their solo, but with Angus, and I think it's a big part of what I like about, I don't know if I've mentioned that I'm gay for Green Day before.
Whoa, wait a minute. Hey, hold on. Breaking news. Brock Johnson admits to loving the band Green Day. More on this shocking development to come. Back to you, Brock.
But with Angus and Billy Joe and a lot of the rockers out of the 90s, the guitar solo almost has like an anthemic cadence.
Okay.
You know, you can almost hear the solo walking through the song. You know?
Absolutely. It's almost more a melody line.
Right.
A building of the song as opposed to...
But it's more than that.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, as opposed to somebody just running through scales.
Right.
And that was unfortunately, some people will call it the high watermark of rock guitar, but for me in the 80s, people, especially the heavy metal guys, the hard rock guys, they took what Eddie Van Halen did and left out what made him so cool. They took the sheer technical virtuosity, but that's what they relied on. It was just, look at how many scales I can do. Look, I can finger tap. Look, I can do sweep arpeggios. Look, I can do
you got to have the soul with it too.
Yeah, it became a technical chops fest. It became more athletic event than it did a supporting part of the song. There were still some of those guys that crushed it, but some of them just didn't.
Let's see if I can do Eruption.
Right.
Basically, right?
Exactly. And I was having this conversation last night with my special lady. And Eddie Van Halen would take the big 15-minute in the middle of the show solo where everything just stopped and Eddie did his thing. The band might accompany him a little bit, but for the most part, it was just Eddie doing Eddie stuff. For some reason, I can give Eddie a pass on that. I don't want to see anybody else do that. It's just, no matter how great you are, it's like you're just playing a scale book at me. That's not interesting to me.
Yeah.
You just took up enough time to play me 3 songs, and instead you showed me how many guitar lessons you took or how many hours you practiced.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
You were playing with yourself in front of everyone.
It's masturbation. It really is.
It's musical masturbation at its finest. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And once again, some of those guys were great. One of my favorite guitar solos ever is a Dokken guitar solo. It's from In My Dreams. George Lynch was a great player. The riff on that song's great. And that guitar solo itself is like this perfect little song within the song. It's not overly long. I think he goes 16 bars and then back to the tune.
But you remember it.
But I remember it. And I remember it blew my mind when I was a kid. And it's still, when I listen to it, I go, how does he play that section so fast?
You know who else plays a solo with that anthemic cadence is Joe Perry.
Oh, yeah.
He's got that too, where you're almost marching along with whatever that guy is doing.
And it's always so... Like, the great lead guitar players understand the vibe of the band. Like an Eddie Van Halen solo would sound funny in an Aerosmith song. But Aerosmith are sort of like a souped-up American version of the Stones anyway. So Joe Perry has that kind of funky, slinky, rattlesnake kind of thing going. And just like, as long as we're talking about it, Keith fits perfectly in the Stones.
Yeah.
Whereas he doesn't take a zillion guitar solos.
Nope.
He really is, he's all about serving the song. And when he does take a solo,
I was going to say
it.
And it's big. Like, think of Sympathy for the Devil.
Oh, gosh.
I think that's a great example of a Keith guitar solo that just really stands out.
Yeah, for sure.
Makes the song.
Yeah, for sure. I think, and I've pussyfooted around getting to him because I'm going there eventually. But Jimmy Page from Led Zeppelin.
What?
This just in. Moments ago, I referenced Jimmy Page and Led Zeppelin on Rock and Roll the Podcast. More on this shocking development to come. Back to you, Tom. Back to you, Dr. Nick. Back to me.
Back to me.
I threw it to Tom, and then I threw it back to me, and I did breaking news about me, which I think is Inception. I think I just broke the universe.
Wow.
Did you know your special lady shared a picture of my cat that I'd posted on Facebook the other day?
That's fantastic. Okay. Well, that's been Rock and Roll the Podcast.
These guys are talking about their special ladies, Tom. What about me? Shut up, Rosie, later.
For Halloween, we ought to...
Oh, really?
For Halloween, we ought to dress up as our faves. I said faves. You could be...
Okay, dude, I'm big enough to be 2 Jimmy Pages.
Yeah, that's correct. And I am Billy Joe Armstrong after the buffet.
Billy Joe Armstrong after he just gave up.
And you
I
just
guess I'll
start doing cocaine and heroin
I was
now.
gonna say, I need a big bag of Coke, and I'll just walk around like a chicken.
Right.
Well, all right.
You've got it. Spot on.
Nailed it. I think of the Jimmy Page guitar solos, and it's such a cliche, but it fits all the criteria. The guitar solo to Stairway to Heaven. We all know it. You can sing it. You know how it starts. You know how it ends.
Yeah, instantly I start bombing in my head.
Already know it.
Tasty.
Yep. Whole Lot of Love's another great example.
Yep.
Bow, bow, we all know it because we've all heard it a million times, but it never felt out of place. It fit the song, especially with Stairway, where Stairway starts down here. It gets to here by the end, and that crescendo, he's just flying, and then it goes to Robert singing over the top and wrapping it up. The solo should fit the song. And I'm also a firm believer that if the song doesn't need a solo, don't play one.
Yeah, don't force it. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
I've seen it on stage, and I can't think of any specific examples, but when the band realizes the guitar solo has become too much, it's like their level of disgust becomes obvious.
They start looking around, right?
Yeah, and they're like they start backing down their parts, and they're just like, what in the hell is happening?
Yeah,
But, I mean, you can sense that vibe in the band when the guitar solo becomes more than it should be.
And also in the audience when everyone goes to the bathroom or goes to get another drink. Is this guy about done? I don't think so.
They're all bored. Yeah. And then later backstage, the guitar player goes, it was the weirdest thing. I was really feeling it. And I looked up and they were gone. I thought the bass solo had started. Sorry, bass players.
Burn. That wasn't awkward.
I was mean. I was just mean to bass players for no reason whatsoever.
It's okay.
There was really no reason for it. Now should we discuss where guitar solos can either turn into a transcendent experience or go to hell and die? Jam bands. When the jam bands like the Grateful Dead are probably the first. The Dead, the Allman Brothers, and then later bands, String Cheese Incident, Fish, these kind of things.
Sure.
Where it'll get into the solo section, and then they all just kind of go off
and do their own thing,
right? And they're improvising and noodling, and
which is great if it's good.
That's it. It's great if it's good.
Case in point, Freebird.
Okay, absolute jam and jam and jam and jam.
Especially
and
those
jam.
live versions, where they're going 10, 12 minutes.
For sure.
And they're doing it good, and they're changing it up every time.
Yeah,
of course.
And the band is all kind of shifting with it and going with it. That's like the guitar solo as space exploration.
Yeah.
Yep.
But then you can also, you'll see those same bands have a bad night where they try to go into it, and it's just not
feeling
working.
it. Yep.
Somebody in it, the chemistry's just broken.
You want to see a band that has unbelievable chemistry, and I don't think there's vocals. I think it's just an instrumental band. They're called Marbin, Marbin. I think they're like two Israeli brothers.
Okay.
And I happened to catch them. It wouldn't have been a show that I would have normally gone to, but I had some friends in town from out of town, and they wanted to go out and do something. And this is when Diamonds was still doing their thing, and Marbin was playing. And I'm like, well, hell, let's go see these. Unbelievable. I mean, the synchronization between, and it's a small band. I think there's like 3 of them.
Oh, wow. Okay.
But spend a little time with them on YouTube.
I'll check them out.
Just going back to that whole, when it's in sync, it is in sync, and it can go on for 10 minutes and still be cool.
Marbin?
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's really impressive with just 3 band members, even more so.
Because there's a lot of space you've got to fill. We were just talking about this. When you're playing in a trio, man, you've got a lot of ground to cover.
Yep.
And there are a lot of great super technical guys that I can't name I couldn't sing a single one of their solos. Look, man, Joe Satriani is an amazing guitar player. There's nothing super memorable there for me. Steve Vai, and this is almost sacrilege. I think Steve Vai is transcendent. I think he's a composer. I think he's a genius. His guitar solos,
I'm going to toss in Jeff Beck in there too.
Okay. Jeff Beck.
Again, a little sacrilegious.
Yep.
But
and he's transcendent. He is one of those guys that really did kind of change the instrument, and I love to listen to his stuff, listen to his arrangements, but when it gets to the solo, the song's more interesting to me than the solo. Yeah, for sure. For sure, absolutely. Now, I was about to say, who are the great lead guitar players in punk? I thought of one.
Joey Ramone.
Okay.
Oh, here you go.
You've got, in my opinion, John Feldman, who we talked about in the producer episode. Billy Joe Armstrong.
Okay.
I don't know if you knew. Do you know who?
This just in, breaking news. Hold on. I'm getting this from a source on the street. Brock Johnson has now once again pointed out his deep love of Billy Joe Armstrong. This breaking story continues. Back to you, Brock.
You've got Noodles from The Offspring.
Okay.
I think it's fantastic.
That kid from Sum 41 is a ninja.
Yeah, Sum 40. I can't remember his name. I just watched a live show of theirs last night.
And he's just
he's a machine. Sum 41 doesn't deserve him, just like Blink-182 doesn't deserve Travis Barker.
Right. right.
God, who else? Tim Armstrong. I think is definitely a pioneer in the punk rock world. I can't remember the dude's name in NoFX. It's not Fat Mike. Fat Mike is the bass player.
Okay.
But that guy too, incredible.
Okay. If you had to pick a guitar solo from somebody other than your hero, what would be your favorite? And it's tough to pick a favorite, but you know, because I know mine. I set myself up because I have an answer.
Probably Noodles.
Okay. And that's absolutely
you gotta
a guitar
keep
solo.
them separated.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, for sure. Okay.
I got to go with, like I mentioned earlier, David Gilmour and Comfortably Numb, because that's the first one that I remember just really sticking in my head.
That totally makes sense.
And that's why I got to go there. I mean, it's just obvious but good.
Mine is, I'm sorry, we haven't talked about this guy hardly at all, and we've done some guitar episodes. Mark Knopfler from Dire Straits.
Man.
The last he solos through the whole thing. Sultans of Swing. He plays, I think there's 3 solos in it, 2 for sure. And that closing guitar solo is just...
Yeah, he's awesome.
It's just perfect. And he's another one of those guys that doesn't play with a pick. That's all finger pick.
He's a ninja.
He really is.
Now, if we're not talking punk rock, my opinion changes completely.
Okay.
Because punk is pretty basic.
Sure.
Even the guitar solos. But if I had to pick outside of punk, probably Eric Clapton's Wonderful.
Okay.
There you go.
Oh, sure.
You know, that's
Yeah.
Nice, man. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And I was thinking of, and God, you know, I hate to keep plugging a band I used to be in, but it really is one of the, I've heard.
Are you going to pick your band as your favorite guitar solo?
No, but I'm going to tell you that it's awful close.
I was about to throw the eggs at your head.
Now that would be breaking news and exciting web content. If you listen to, it is from the second, I think it's the second Fool's Bane album. We did an acoustic song called Here Now. The opening guitar solo that Tracy Emery, the lead guitar player, plays, still to this day, and man, I've been in rock radio for 20-something years. I've heard every guitar solo in the world of rock. I swear to God, probably 1,000 times. That one still gives me chills. It is, and it's slow. It's quiet, and it's only like 8 bars. It is so beautiful. It's this perfect little tiny composition in the composition. You can find it on YouTube. Just look for.
So you are picking your band.
It's not my favorite, but it's a pretty close. I would put it in my top 10, and I know the guy. So
there you go.
You know what I mean? If it moves you, I remember that part from the song more than I remember the vocals or the parts I wrote in the song.
Yep.
You know, it was just this perfect little moment in time. If I'm right, it took him 2 takes to get it.
Oh,
wow.
That was definitely in the moment kind of a thing,
It's a perfect little thing, man. It really is. I want to, as long as we're here and you threatened me with egg violence just moments ago.
Egg violence.
Egg-based violence. And
warning, this podcast may contain egg violence and may not be suitable for all audiences.
That's awesome. Listen, on the episode when you actually are going to eat it, we need that disclaimer right on the front of it.
Sure.
Absolutely. So
I think all podcasts from now on needs to include a disclaimer that says warning may contain egg violence.
Warning may contain egg violence.
That's happening from now on.
I would like to we kind of are building our collections here, but Tom's side seems sparse.
I can take
I
it
want
up a
you to
notch.
have more props.
I can do that.
Yeah, for a couple of reasons. Number one, I just feel bad for you over there. You and the snack line and your can of Southland chili. But 2, if Brock's going to go at me with a goddamn jar of eggs, I need something to return fire with, and it won't be a foam rubber goddamn hammer.
Yeah, but you know what? I think your props need to stick with the phone themes, like a dot matrix printer.
A fax machine.
Yeah, like Office from 1973.
There you
some
go.
of our fellow employees.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I've got a great consultant who could put the whole thing together for you.
Thank you for that.
Imagine if a business in 2021 was still relying on a fax machine.
Weird. I think it's time for that time warp effect.
Oh,
there you go.
Back there, yeah.
Plus, I was going to say, you know who would really appreciate that kind of thing? Rutherford B. Hayes.
Oh, you right up, Tommy.
We all blew it.
No, because last time we were like, why are we looking over here?
But we didn't imply
make it official?
we didn't make a change.
Well,
we
I
didn't
don't
make
know.
an official change.
I didn't get the memo on not doing it.
God damn it!
Oh, great. Power plant. Power plant. Power plant. Power plant. No.
He's going to get egged.
There was almost egg violence. Whew, that was spooky.
I think,
Billy Joe just about.
Did you crack the seal on the jar?
No, I didn't crack the seal, but I think I further cracked the egg.
Oh, good.
yeah.
Good.
The
Rutherford B.
gaping maw.
Hayes.
Give
right,
him a Boy
Nelson.
Scout salute. Because, I have to be different.
Remember, episode 37 of Rock and Roll the Podcast, as all episodes, powered by Rutherford B. Hayes. The f- are you laughing about, Nelson? Did you come down here drunk?
You can't prove that.
Nothing wrong with that.
Well, no.
So, in fact, I'd prefer it that way.
So are you both drunk? Did I miss out on the drunk podcast?
You've got
memo?
plenty of Jepsons.
There
right
you
there.
go.
Jepson's Malort for when you want to commit suicide with your mouth.
I mean, hell, it is. Yeah, we're 11:23 already. What the hell are you thinking?
Wow.
Wow. Oh,
It's
you're
almost
right.
noon.
It really is almost Jepson's Malort 30. Oh,
Only in Chicago.
Jepson's Malort when you give up.
Nah, that's not. I mean, there's you can't give up with Jepson's Malort because that will forever be a challenge. You give up with like Black Velvet,
Okay, you're right. Any
like BV.
remember any booze that you can buy that comes in a plastic jug with a handle?
Jug whiskey. Yeah.
The
Jug
worst
whiskey.
tequila I ever bought in college. Because, college kids are broke.
Yeah.
And got to have tequila,
Well,
though.
I mean, if you can get a 175 for $10,
Well, there
what
you
the
go.
hell are you
That's
supposed to do?
I don't know the name brand of this tequila.
It doesn't matter.
The cap was a little red sombrero. That should have been my first clue right there.
And more money went into the packaging than it did the product.
Then did the product, yeah.
Oof. Okay. Well, as long as we're doing it, what's the cheapest, crappiest liquor you've ever done?
Oh boy, I don't know.
We can throw in beer too.
Yeah, we can throw in beer. I think Seagram 7 is in there.
Okay.
BV, and I actually don't even mind BV. BV's all right.
Well, if you're mixing it with Coke, it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
You're not just drinking it on ice.
Oh, I mean, shoot it out of the bottle. I mean, let's cut to the chase here. Let's get shit done.
Okay, dude, you are like this close to being Sanford and Sons.
Yeah. Now, before I discovered whiskey, because it was later. It was later in my drinking escapades that I discovered that I was a whiskey guy. And,
Okay.
My friends had been vodka guys.
Right.
And I can't even tell you the number of 175s of that bottom shelf $6 vodka. we went
Oh,
through.
God.
Yeah.
Okay,
I don't think BV's that bad.
BV's all right. I mean,
It's not my go-to.
no.
No,
I can
but
drink it.
If it's
There's got to be worse.
If it's the one that they have, sure.
Okay.
Why not? The price is right.
Yeah.
12 cents an ounce, baby.
They make you pay for it?
I think the worst that I ever actually pursued and spent money on. Do you remember? I don't know if they had it where you guys grew up. There was an off-brand here called Max. It was beer. Max.
I
with
I don't
two
remember
X's.
Max.
Oh, this stuff was piss. Oh, it was just so bad. It made Keystone seem fancy.
Oh, well, not.
You know what I mean? It was like
That's saying something.
it was
right
like
there.
it was like the Kmart version of natural
Well,
ice.
but I mean, Keystone Ice is fancy,
oh gosh, it's not.
but it's 8%.
Well, but there you go. And remember, with 8% liquor, 8% alcohol, you do start to feel fancy.
Try Steel Reserve sometime.
Oh, no.
There you go.
Or Natty Light.
Natty Light.
Now, but remember, I was a Jägermeister drinker, a hardcore Jägermeister drinker for a long time.
I still dig the Yag.
Can't do it anymore, but I drank.
You can't do Yag anymore? How come?
Nope. my tastes have changed. I drank, dude, I drank gallons of Jägermeister back in the day. Just so much. My 23rd birthday, I think, within 2 hours, I was erping in the sink in front of everybody.
Oof.
My ex-wife holding my hair. Ex-wife, ex-hair.
Hey.
While I threw up in the sink and went home early. But that's fine because the birthday party later got busted for drugs.
Oh.
Could you put a little bit of echo on the drugs?
Yeah, got it.
When I said drugs. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I think we've done awful work again today.
I feel so bad about it.
You know what?
I feel great. I feel real great.
You know what I'd like to do? I would like to thank everybody that is checking out Rock and Roll the Podcast because the numbers now are starting to kind of pick up. Like,
Yeah, they
But
are.
we lost a subscriber.
I saw that. We
I don't know
lost
who
one
we
subscriber.
pissed somebody off. We went from 111 to 110.
Who do you think we offended? What is it that we did that offended them?
I don't know.
The whole thing's offensive. I don't know.
It is one big offensive
it really
sentence,
is.
really. Yeah.
So thank you for enjoying our offensive pile. And we'll probably do it again. I'd like to thank our sponsor, too, Power Plant, powerplantweb.com.
That's right.
Yeah, they're on Kimberly Road in Twin Falls.
Blaine.
And, huh? Did you say,
said Blaine.
Okay, I thought you just went, ah.
Close. That's coming.
Oh, there he goes. There he goes. It's been a while since you had an old man fit.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, that was well before we moved to the new set. That's when we were still sitting over against that wall.
right.
That was before the green room and the catered lunch.
Yeah.
that we're having here.
Yeah. Tom, well played. Thanks. You know what? Thanks for going retro.
Hey, thank you.
And that's been Rock and Roll the Podcast. Please, pretty please, with sugar on top, when you see this podcast post, share it. Put it on your Facebook page and say, hey, these guys are funny. Enjoy these gentlemen and their humor. We would love it if you would help spread the word because we are having a blast doing it. And the more we spread the word, the more of it we can do.
And for a very limited time, the next 15 people who share the podcast get a free complimentary shot of Jepson's Malort.
Free shot may actually be not be real.
Delicious.
That was the disclaimer. Got the disclaimer.
Oh, yeah, you got to have the disclaimer.
Yeah, wait.
Until the next time, my name's Dr. Nick Redbone. That's Tommy Nelson. That's the mighty Brock Johnson. Peace, love, and rock and roll. We're out of here.